From Castle Rexworth and the Rexworth Estates, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are, and whenever you are. My name is Rexworth, Lord Rexworth. I welcome you to our Saturday night stream. Going to be doing some more reacting. We'll hold out hope that I might possibly play a game, but we might be hoping against hope on that one because there's still a lot of tabs to get through. But anyways, welcome in everybody. Anglo, thank you for checking in over on Kick. Twitch chat, welcome in. Everyone on YouTube, welcome in as well. Valeran, hello, hello. Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. Do remember to follow me across all platforms. You can find links to everything at lordrexworth.com. That is lordrexworth.com. You can also find, among other things, links to my X account. You just find me there at Lord Rexworth, all one word. Let's see, you can also find a link to the Castle Rexworth Discord. Hang out with me and the rest of the nobles whenever I'm not streaming. It's all right there at lordrexworth.com. That is lordrexworth.com. Right, sorry to keep everybody waiting. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let us do the news. And of course we would be remiss if we did not start with the big breaking news that's happening right now. Providence, Rhode Island, Brown University, rather prestigious university in America. Police and rescue crews on the scene. They're calling it a mass shooting. Got 20 people injured. I believe about 2 people are dead so far. At one point they were saying someone was in custody, but at last report, still at large. Let me refresh this and see if there's anything new. Almost 4 hours after the Brown University shooting, students in nearby buildings still locked down. Authorities seem to have no idea where the shooter is and if there's still a threat to campus. And of course, the president has been briefed on what happened.
Briefed on the Brown University situation, what a terrible thing it is. All we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame.
Let's see. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley photographed early in the year with his life partner during Pride Month. Gina Milan tweeting, "Now you know why the Brown University shooting press conference was a total shit show." Also got photos, people sending in that they have barricaded the doors to some of their classrooms. But officials confirming 2 people are dead, 8 people in critical condition. And the shelter in place is still in effect. Police still on the hunt for the shooter or shooters. Kaguya's top gal tweeting out, "The media with the Brown University shooting that just happened. Please be white and male. Please be white and male. Please be white and male." So that's really all we have right now. I wish we had more, but unfortunately that's it. That's all any of us know right now. That's all they're telling the public at the moment. Oh yeah, and worth noting, Brown University has a policy firearms strictly prohibited. It's a gun-free zone. I guess the shooter didn't get the memo on that. And yeah, before any of these shitlibs start talking about it, no, we're not going to get mass gun confiscation from this. No, it's not the guns. All of you can shut the fuck up, and you can go fuck yourselves. So that's the big lead story for tonight, this weekend. And now let's turn to another American matter. This from a Card Daily. I wanted to get to this yesterday, but I figured one Sargon video per stream is probably enough. The Somalian community has been, they've been busted in Minnesota. It's been discovered that they're just, in large part, a gang of thieves and liars and leeches and parasites. Let's take a look here.
I love watching Trump's war with the Somalian community in America because in many ways they're both kind of the same. They are thymotically driven. They want other people to see them. They want other people to respect them, to venerate them, to think well of them. And they are not above being quite...
That is possible with President Trump. I don't know if that's possible with the Somalian community.
braggadocious, which is a remarkable thing when you're trying to pull a massive grift. Because it means when you are succeeding in the grift, you brag about it. You brag about how great you're doing, which undermines the grift in public. Not that obviously that's not what Trump's done, but like Trump being a property mogul is part of his big thymotic personality. He wants people to be like, oh, look at that giant Trump Tower, it's, reflecting in gold and stuff like that. It's the kind of person that Trump is. And the Somalian community, from what I see of them, just seem to have that kind of personality trait. And so it's interesting watching them go at each other, especially as the Somalis just had not helped their case at all. So apparently...
They really can't help themselves. And as he noted, they brag about their grift. It's really arrogance, isn't it? To think that they can just get away with it and that they should be so arrogant they think they should just be allowed to get away with it. And yet, they're not really, because people are finding out. They're finding out what terrible people so many of them really are, and what a net negative they have turned out to be for the United States and for most other places that they go.
They're holding rallies in Somalia to protest Trump and support Ilhan Omar, which speaks a lot to the integration. I'd play you...
Yeah. They'll support someone who married their brother to try and get a US visa, citizenship, or what the fuck ever, because she's one of their own. Donald Trump, not part of the tribe. So they'll protest him. That's what it all devolves down into, is tribalism.
Some of it, but of course it's gibberish. I can't understand a word. And so you've got this, Minnesota just wouldn't be able to survive or thrive without the Somali community here.
Yeah, that's a load of bullshit. Minnesota was just fine without other Somalians before. Pretty sure they'll be alright after all the Somalians are gone.
Says Minnesota State Senator Zainab Mohammed, who was, of course, born in Somalia, and somehow she's able to gain elected office in America. And so you've got Lauren here pointing out, well, look, if either Somalia is a place you need refuge from, or it's incredible, and Trump is wrong to say that Somalia isn't brilliant. It's like, okay, yeah, well, pick which one you want.
This is our garbage, as Piggy Trump said it. Awful, right? I mean, you can make any sort of tourist area look fantastic, but that's the tourist area. That's not the real Somalia. Somalia itself, by and large, it's a shithole. And yeah, you don't get to come over as refugees seeking asylum from Somalia and then turn around and say, oh yeah, actually Somalia is amazing. Well, if it's so fucking amazing, you can go back. As a matter of fact, I don't give a shit if it's amazing or not. You have to go back. It's really that simple.
But at the end of the day, you're going to have to commit to it. And if it is that Somalians are making Minnesota thrive, and actually Somalia is great, and that's why the Somalians, out of the goodness of their hearts, have just come over
Sure.
to help America
Goodness of their
build
hearts.
its own country, because Americans can't build a country, you see. And so the Somalians are like, listen, we have got the world's highest GDP per capita. We have got thriving industry. We have got just the best of everything. You should see our sewer systems. You should see how clean our streets are.
What sewer systems? I'm fairly certain they don't have any. Or if they do, they don't work very well.
It's incredible. Safest place on earth. And therefore we are going to look at you poor benighted Americans and come over and help you out. Because we're just... God, we're so fucking charitable. Just we're such good people, the Somalians. They're so good. And they're going to go over and they're going to help you out. And that's what they've done. And that's what Somalian President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed has said here. He's basically like, look, stop being narrow.
These people honestly believe that they can just lie like this, claim their country is prosperous, advancing, thriving, but at the same time lob millions of, or however many people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, God knows how many, just lob masses of people towards Western industrialized countries. But yet they still claim, yeah, we're prosperous, we're advancing, we're a thriving country. It doesn't work that way. If you're truly prosperous, advancing, and thriving, you wouldn't have people trying to claim refugee status.
Reminded, Somalia is a prosperous, advancing, thriving country, and we're just moving to everyone else's countries to help them be more like us, to help them thrive.
They honestly think if they just lie and gaslight like this long enough, that people will somehow buy into it. And no, it doesn't work that way. These people are not intelligent enough to pull off a grift like that. They're not smart enough to pull off a con game like that. They think they're clever. They're really not that clever.
Them prosper, because they just can't do it without the Somalians. If there's one thing that people are glad to hear, is that, oh, some Somali immigrants have arrived. Oh, thank God. Here we were languishing, labouring in the dirt, poor as you could imagine, until some Somalians have arrived to distribute gold to everyone. They're just handing out money. They're so, no, you silly, silly people. This is how you build a thriving and prosperous society. Everyone looks to Somalia for advice on that. So I looked up. I thought it was 260,000, right? Because I saw some numbers. I was like, okay. And so I looked it up. And I thought, that can't be right. So I double checked. And it's not. I thought it was 260,000 Somalians who are in Minnesota. But it's not. It's only 80,000, nearly 80,000 live in Minnesota.
80,000 people, and there's some of the worst problem children you can imagine.
I thought, okay, that's not that many, actually. Right? The Somali community is actually only about 16% of Minnesota. So it's like, okay, it's not the majority. Why are we hearing so much about the Somalian community? Why are they so dominant in Minnesotan politics? I mean, we did see that they didn't elect the Mars Attacks guy. They elected Jacob Frey, a white Democrat. So it was 58% of the whites voted for Jacob Frey. The Somali vote wasn't that impactful. So why are we hearing so much about them? It's really weird. Anyway, I saw this.
Because I'm sure a lot of very powerful people want them to be granted citizenship via amnesty and full voting rights, so that they can basically edge out the white community there in Minnesota and create a powerful underclass as well as a powerful voting bloc to ensure another stronghold for Democrats.
Yes, Somali Minnesotans generate at least 500 million on income annually and pay about 67 million on state and local taxes.
I'm going to press X to doubt on that.
That sounds terrible. What? And now I'm no mathematician, so I whipped up my calculator. And I'm sure I've got these numbers right. So 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2 zeros. So 500 million divided by 80,000 is 6,250 a year. per Somalian. That's the most impoverished community in the country, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. 6250 is 6250.
Like, that's insanely poor. I mean, I don't know what has happened. You know, the Somalians in Somalia, obviously, I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to guess they're earning around 50 to 100k a year average, right? Somewhere, let's say 75k a year average, like Liechtenstein or something. Obviously, Somalia is going to be like that. Why is it they become so poor when they come to America? That's crazy, isn't it? And obviously that means they're contributing bugger all taxes. In fact, let's quickly calculate that. 67,123 divided by 80,000 is $800.
Yeah,
What?
that's it.
Each Somalian every year pays $800 in taxes.
But these numbers don't sell papers. These numbers don't grab eyeballs. So instead you see things like 500 million and 67 million.
I mean, I wish I only paid $800 in taxes, but I'd like to earn more than 6.2 grand a year.
You and me both.
So what are you going to do? So anyway, that's weird. I don't know. I mean, it must be systemic racism. Duh. Obviously. What else would it be?
Yeah,
Somalia,
sure.
thriving, 75k
Whatever.
a year. When they come to America, oppressed.
Say that number again. $67 million in state and local taxes. $500 million in income. From a community of approximately 80,000 people. When you do the maths, it's really not that much per person.
Elected the government and the Senate. Anyway, people pointed out, well, hang on a second.
Oh, wait, I forgot. 7 million.
But they send $1.7 billion a year back to Somalia. How do they do that if they only make 500 million? And the cogs started to turn in people's heads.
Oh, okay. Only generating $500 million in income, and yet somehow they're able to remit $1.7 billion back to Somalia. Probably doing some work under the table. Mooching benefits off the state. Yeah, there's a big grift going on here. Fucking hell, it took you long enough. Sorry. No, you stop that. No, 6, 7.
Wait a minute. These numbers aren't adding up. But what I love about this is that's
The
more than
maths
the
start
Somali
mathing.
government's budget for the year. So it's a small government state as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it does sound, it sounds like paradise. You're on 75k a year. The government budget is less than 1.7 billion. Can you fucking imagine? Like, Somalia sounds like a paradise. And so you've really got to thank the Somalians for genuinely coming over here to basically become indentured servants. You know, making $6,000 a year when they could be living the high life at home, because they're such missionaries. They're just here to make our lives better.
Missionaries.
Now,
sure.
evil people like Stephen Miller will tell you that actually they've uncovered the largest theft of taxpayer dollars in US history in what is a massive Somalian fraud ring. Now, I mean, obviously, I don't believe that. I believe the Somali president and all the Somali elected officials in America and everyone else who's just like, well, obviously, Somalia is a beautiful gold mine. It's like the California of Africa. It's incredible. And everyone there earns huge amounts of money and there's such great human capital.
I mean, if you call yourself the California of Africa, that's not exactly a high compliment. Have you been to California recently? Have you seen the news coming out of California recently? I don't think you want to call yourself the California of Africa. Well, it's almost like calling yourself I don't know, the Cleveland of South America, or you know, the Birmingham of Oceania, or whatever.
It's all there. And for some reason, Stephen Miller is falsely accusing them of having stolen more than $1 billion in public funds. Well, if we go back to our calculations here, yeah, it must be about 1.2 billion. to make up the 1.7 billion. In fact, it's got to be more, really, isn't it? They've got to live off something. It would have to be, I mean, over 1.2 billion worth of fraud. And I'm actually quite looking forward to finding this out. Apparently, they've stolen this more than $1 billion in public funds from programs meant to feed children, assist the homeless, and provide autism therapy. Well, I mean, I think that's...
Yeah, apparently autism is running rampant within the Somalian community. I find it difficult to believe that many Somalian children have autism. I could believe that a lot of them are inbred. Yes, I can absolutely believe that. Because that particular part of the world, and, throughout Africa and the Middle East, especially certain parts of the Middle East, yeah, there's an inbreeding problem going on. It's what happens when you remain a tribalistic, sort of Bedouin savage-like people for so long that you're so paranoid you don't really trust anyone else, and you just have cousins and half-brothers and half-sisters marrying each other and making babies with each other, and then, oh, look at that. Before long, you've got inbred children, and you've got children that are absolute stark raving lunatics. And then you've also got neurotic behavior that becomes genetic in nature, because that's what happens when you inbreed long enough, is that eventually your descendants start becoming neurotic, and then eventually they just turn into complete psychopaths. It's why every so often royal families had to introduce commoners into their gene pools, because everybody was marrying each other's cousin for so long that every few generations they would produce an heir that was a stark raving lunatic. So yeah, that's a problem, and it's a problem they don't really like to talk about because it's a bit embarrassing, and yeah, it's kind of savage behavior. Let's just be fucking real.
Hell of an allegation. Hell of an allegation. And from what I know of the Somalian people, I wouldn't countenance it. Absolutely atrocious. The problem is, there are now some whistleblowers who are coming out and being like, yeah, let's watch this Fox News clip.
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Oh.
Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her
Well,
district,
imagine my
including a
shock.
restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
Bloody hell!
Gosh.
$12 million. I mean, total allegations.
The restaurant business can be good, but it's not that good.
Total allegations. What's really interesting is that a lot of people are saying, well, hang on a second. When she took office in 2019, it was with a minus $45,000 net worth, because she had been so kind and considerate that she'd come over to America, given all of her money away, and worked to put herself in debt to do so much charity. But somehow, after 6 years in Congress, she's now worth somewhere between $6 and $30 million. Because her husband's
done well for
winery got
herself.
revalued from 50 to 50k to $1 to $5 million, despite just having such a... And I looked all this up. It's correct. This appears to be the case. Somehow she's just become insanely rich. It's like, wow, these Somalians just work so hard.
Broke to
Ignore Stephen
baller
Miller's
overnight.
accusations,
Follow the money.
baseless, racist accusations. They just work really, really hard. And so
Yeah,
this
sure
is why
they do.
Somali Main State Rep...
I mean, honestly, do these look like the people who work hard? These do not look like people who know what hard work means.
I can't pronounce that. Deka Dalak announces her number one goal in office is to surge taxpayer money from America to Somalia. I mean, surely she didn't say that.
Policies, how can the politics in Somalia can be, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have. How can you help us, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia, and policy.
They're just...
That just sounded like a lot of babbling. I wasn't hearing coherent sentences being formed. But somewhere in the midst of that is... Yes, they want to continue grifting, they want to continue leeching off of America, and sending that money back to Somalia. We really should ban them from holding office. We really should. Actually, I'll do you one even better. Denaturalize the ones that are here, and they all have to go back to Somalia. They all have to go back.
So bad at this. I thought Somalia was a paradise full of insanely wealthy people who are just coming over to help us build our benighted countries. And she's like, oh yeah, no, actually our country sucks. But at some point in the distant past, Somalia was great. I'm sure that's correct.
I'm going to press
and so to help
down.
our country, I mean our former country, fellow Americans.
What we used to have, implying when your nation was communist or when it was being run by Mussolini. Take your pick. True.
Americans, come on, the grift is so transparent. It's so goddamn transparent. Anyway, so apparently the Minnesota Mayor Carter, says the anxiety level is high after President Trump announced he is planning to send immigration officers into the city to target Somali migrants. Well, okay. What's it doing impacting
Good.
their earnings?
They should be afraid. They should be
Yes.
very afraid.
And of course, Mayor Jacob Frey stood with the Somali community. As you can see, this is powerful, says Democratic Wins Media. Well, I look forward to having my hair blown back.
What you see is a visual representation of we have your back, and when you come for one of us, you come for all of us.
Okay. We'll send you back to Somalia as well.
We
See how
reject
you
the
like
hateful rhetoric of Donald Trump, but I don't want to focus on him. I want to focus on who we are as a people in Minneapolis. We are a people of 1,000 different backgrounds. We are a people where our Somali Americans have come to Minneapolis, in many cases, decades ago. And I said Somali Americans very intentionally. They are Americans.
Yes, right.
No, they're not.
I mean,
They've never been Americans. They never will be Americans. Because they're nothing like Americans. They have nothing in common with Americans. Absolutely nothing in common. They will never be Americans.
the way that he has to tell them that, because they keep saying, we are Somalis. And he's like, no, you're Americans. They're like, no, we are Somalis.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you ask them, they'll tell you that they are Somalians first. And Americans last, if anything at all.
So, okay. But what I love about this is he's kind of left holding the bag, right? He's decided, right, no, I mean, in Minneapolis, there's probably a greater concentration of Somalis. So, to be the mayor of Minneapolis, yeah, okay, you've got to pander to this community, doubtless. But, what I find really funny is, like I said, he's going to be holding the bag on.
Guys, let's not be hateful. No to racism. We Somalis are heckin' wholesome. Now, let me tell you about those fucking Ethiopian subhumans. Oh, jeez. Oh, my.
You can see he's eating the ethnic slop, and people are pointing out, yep, he's
not having a good time. They are staring at him like, you will eat this, you will like it, you will say, thank you, sir, may I have another, or we'll slit your goddamn throat. And meanwhile, he's just like, okay, this is what I have to do to get re-elected. Okay. And he's just, with each bite, he's like, I am in absolute hell.
spending a lot of time chewing that. He's spending a lot of time playing with the bowl to
Make it
Make
look like
it look
he's
like he's
eating, but
interacting
he's
with the
not
thing,
really
presumably
eating.
to eat as little.
That face. That face. He takes one bite and he's like, Christ, I've made a horrible mistake. You would feel bad for him, almost. Almost. You'd almost feel bad for him. You know, if you weren't so sure, it's just, yeah. Bro gets what he fucking deserves at this point. I have to eat mud pies so my hard drive doesn't get leaked by the FBI. Yeah, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me.
Of it as possible, because I mean, it's not like it looks very appealing, and
No,
it doesn't
looks
look like he's enjoying.
It looks like slop, and it looks like the sort of thing that you would eat with your hands like a savage. Which, I'm sorry, if you eat with your hands like that, unless it's pizza or a sandwich or, you know, a hot dog or something like that, yeah, no, it's savagery. You don't eat with your hands. Use a fucking knife and a fork, or use chopsticks or whatever's appropriate for the food.